Hello, welcome to my biofuel video project. The biofuel I chose was ethanol. To start, what is a biofuel? It is a renewable source of energy produced from plants and animals. In this case, ethanol is a clear, colorless compound made from sugars found in crops. The background on ethanol is that it was first produced nearly 5,000 years ago by ancient Egyptians as a beverage. It was used as a beverage until the 1890s when Henry Ford built the first automobile that ran on ethanol. Okay, let's skip to the growth and cultivation. Ethanol is made from crops of plentiful sugar or the components to make it. This includes crops like starch or cellulose. There are many steps involved, including grinding the kernel into ground meal, making a slurry, which is meal mixed from water to form a mash, adding enzymes to convert the starch to sugars, cooking, cooling, and transferring to fermenters, then adding yeast to convert the sugars to alcohol, separating the alcohol from the stillage, and finally distilling and dehydrating the ethanol. Moving into production. Ethanol is produced in nature through a process called fermentation. Fermentation is a type of anaerobic process in cellular respiration because it occurs without the presence of oxygen. Fermentation is also a process in which yeast and bacteria consume sugars to produce ethanol along with carbon dioxide. Now we can move into the development status. Since ethanol was discovered so long ago, nearly 5,000 years ago, it is widely available to the world. Before the pandemic, production was at an all-time high, and since then it fails to meet that high, but steadily increases. The United States is also the biggest producer of ethanol by producing over 15 billion gallons during 2021 to 2022. Now we can move into the impact on the carbon footprint. Research has shown that corn ethanol has reduced the carbon footprint and diminishes the greenhouse gases. The research in question was a research conducted by the U.S. Department of Energy in the National Laboratory, and it revealed that the use of corn ethanol is reducing the carbon footprint and diminishing greenhouse gases by reducing the carbon intensity to 23% in 2005 all the way to 2019. Now, focusing on the economic impact, it has contributed to the U.S. economy increase in 2022. The industry created 34.8 billion in household revenue, and the ethanol industry continues to positively impact the economy in terms of GDP, job creation, and generation tax revenue. Now, communication to the public. There have been many government campaigns and the creation of many new federal laws and incentives, including loans, payments, and grants. There's actually a website you can go on to, created by the U.S. Department of Energy, where it has over 30 laws, programs, and grants listed out. These listings represent ways in how the government has tried to communicate to the public the impact of ethanol. Now, next steps. Ethanol is highly used and has been for a very long time. This is just based off the information I've told you. So I propose that we need to find new alternative ways to produce ethanol due to its massive land use and increased cost of food. Now for the plan. I propose we use sustainable technology to develop ethanol production. This includes shifting to a non-feed source, which is just the plants we eat, to something else, such as cellulose found in the plant's cell wall. We could then invest in the technology needed to make this happen. Then all the plants used could be held in a facility far away from the land that was used for the other plants. That way, land usage is optimized. Finally, we would have to promote this new method by proposing campaigns, grants, new laws, and create incentives for the public to use. Here are the sources that I used for my presentation. And then thank you again for listening to my presentation.